Hello everyone, welcome back. This is Cindy with Moonfire Studios. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here today, and thank you for your support, old and new. If you could just hit the like button for me, give us a thumbs up, a subscribe, a comment, anything to help out our wondrous YouTube algorithm for me. And let's get right down to it. I have been very thankful and fortunate enough to get to be using the Rickety Snippets digitals, and Sally has the most gorgeous printouts. She has, if you've seen my very first design team project, it was with the Ice Fairy Forest box and cards and postcards, and those all have a beautiful icy blue tone to them. And this time she has done an ultraviolet color scheme and things, and I will be using the 3 ultraviolet kits that she has. And the first one is the Fairy Folio, and these are the pages in it. And she's just, I love the attention to detail that she gives everything. This one also happens to have an ink saver section, which not only helps you in placement of pockets, you don't have to waste your ink underneath something that you're not going to see. So there's the inside of the folio. Here is a wonderful pocket, and she has done everything except the cutting and folding for you. But again, there's an ink saver space there, because what you'll see later on is this section will flip up over this part here. And she does something that I notice a lot of people doing their printables don't do, or it's difficult for them to do, but she takes the utmost care and time. This edge here will match up with this section here. These lines will match up together. The writing matches up. Everything matches up perfectly, and when you score on this line, it's like seamless. I don't even know the pocket's there unless I put some ink across it, across this edge. So if you want like a secret, super secret pocket, don't ink it and just glue the sides down. And then she also does things like, here's your score lines, and the pattern continues. Where is the topper? I don't think, I haven't gotten to the topper yet. Here's the topper. But this, even this right here, when you cut her out and put her on the top, this is the top of the folio front. This is the back. This is the top. But when you line her up, and I did not expect this, I put her on here and I was like super giddy. My husband was like, oh my God, what are you so excited about? And he thought it was the coolest thing ever, that all of these words match and line up perfectly with all of these. So it's a beautiful continuation, and if I didn't know I glued that down, I would never know that this was a separate piece. So it's things like that, her attention to those wonderful aspects and elements of things, that's just fantastic. So there's, this is another interior pocket, and then you could use a bookmark, things like that. This is really cool. This right here is a really fun piece. We will show you that when I create the folio part. But here, this is a second kit. These are the ultraviolet tag pockets. And there's a back piece and a front piece. And this is a little shorter so that you save, you know, not only paper, but you also save ink. And then when you put this over this. This matches up perfectly with this. So it's just fantastic the way that she does these. I absolutely adore them. So there's pocket number 1, or yep, tag pocket number 1, number 2, number 3, and I love the old like the ledgers and the journals she has in the backgrounds. And then here's tags to put inside, and then ephemera as always. I love her butterflies and her little tickets, and she's got birds and fairies. Everything is just colored beautifully. Her flowers are just phenomenal. So there's that one. And then this one is, and they're also really cool. And I'm just amazed at how she has put these together. This is the Ultraviolet tab file pockets. And you can see there's a little notch there. Now these, I did not print double-sided, although I could, so that back here, when this folds over, this little notch has a background pattern. But, you know, I might put some paper or something right there. I haven't decided yet on the back of the back. So, and there's a little tab pull to cut out. Beautiful fairy. There's a beautiful butterfly. Another beautiful fairy with a dragonfly. And I like she has coordinated the pull tabs for the file tags on here as well. Look at this beautiful bird. Look at the feathers. How gorgeous is he? And then here are some papers, some pages, your inserts for your file folders. But aren't those beautiful? So I am right now going to use handy dandy scissors, and I'm going to cut all of these out, and then I shall return. Alrighty, we are back. Now I have cut everything, and I put it all in one project box. I also went ahead and I inked the edges, almost all of them, and I also scored almost all of the score lines for all the pockets and pages and everything. The only thing I have not done is the cover to the folio, and I inked in. I went with purple because it's ultraviolet, and also to show you guys that you don't only have to ink the edges with distress inks or browns or blacks or grays to make it look vintage or any of that stuff. You can use colors. The ones that I have chosen for this project are the water reactive dyes and the Harmony inks by Spectrum Noir in Pale Fig and Crushed Violet. And today I'm going to concentrate on, well, you've been introduced to the kits, and today I'm going to create the folio part for my project. So I'm going to get the base and all of the extra ephemeras, and I'm just going to put these off to the side. This side, I think. Now this is the exterior cover of the folio, and I printed this on 100-pound Cougar bright white opaque cardstock, and this is the interior of the folio, and I printed this on I forget the weight, 28 or 30 some pound, but it is hammer mill laser paper, the one with the big blue butterfly on the package. So yeah, and so what I'm going to do is, I didn't want to score these just yet, and I didn't want to ink them until they were stuck together. So I'm going to actually glue them together and then score them and then ink them, and I'll fast forward that because I'm sure you guys have seen enough of that type of thing. Okay, now, and you can see, I believe, I've got a little bit of white overhang. On the inside, I'm not going to worry about it too much. I sort of misaligned, but that's okay. I'm going to cut away the exterior though. And that's also a good time when inking the edges comes in handy, because you can, it really helps to hide any of the mistakes that you've done. Or if you're also not that great at cutting things out, surprisingly, it helps hide a lot of the cutting blemishes. So that, and if you know me, you know I hate white spaces. They're okay to me as accents, but I have to fill up the white space. Okay, so now there are just bits. There are 2 score lines, and there's one here and one here, and you can see this one on the inside corresponds to outside. So if you just score on this one on the outside, flip it over, score on this one on the inside, you have a nice tiny little spine. About a 1/4 of an inch, or like a 1/2 centimeter. So and there we go. I did make my cover incredibly thick because I need, the spine is very narrow, so I am going to be poking holes in it and doing some stitching of signatures in there. And put that in my glue holder. I am now going to ink around the edges of this one. Okay, and you see I did go around the edges that have the white for the ink saver, just in case my element to go over is any type of short. And then from the side, if you look at it, you can still, you don't see the bright white so much. So now I'm going to do the interior pockets first. And the dragonfly goes here. I like to keep my thumb on things that are like pockets, or that I don't want that edge to be glued, because I'm hopefully not going to glue across my thumb. So, and I cut this a little bit wonky, so oh, it doesn't stick up really on the other side. Just make sure that you have it up against the hinge part, that you don't go over it, so that it doesn't interfere with the opening and closing of your folio. Okay, and then for this side, we have this pocket. Okay, now that this is nice and dry, I am going to put the front pocket on, and she just lines up. And like I said, if you open it up, you can see, look how beautifully that spine lines up with the pocket edge. I'm just enamored with that. It's absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to put along this edge, and yeah, along the top and the bottom. And I'm going right up to the score line. And just teeny tiny little adjustments. And ta-da! Perfect. I'm going to make sure that's nice and secure on there before I fold it over. And I think there's a tiny bit up here that, yep, might need trimmed off just a tiny, tiny bit. But that's not the pocket's fault. That is my fault, because I messed up on my layering here. And a little, now I can go over the spine part of the edge of the pocket. I purposefully didn't go over that yet, because I knew I would need to layer it in, and it's just better for me to do it afterwards. And I'm going a little bit around this image here, because it adds a little bit of depth into the page. Cool. Maybe a little in here. Okay, so there she is. And then you can obviously put whatever you need to wherever. There's that. There's that one. I like her there. That's pretty. And so the next thing, I really like this one a whole lot. The next thing I want to do is actually, before let me show you this pocket. This is the pocket. Look at that. I thought that was the back side, but there's the back side. And then there's the pocket on the front. Now, I didn't glue this one down yet, so you could see this is how I cut it out. And you just score on this line and score on that line. And then when you flip it over, this goes over here, and this goes up. And I didn't ink this because I really like that you just can't see it. So I'm going to glue this one. Set the folio aside for now. And I like this to be a pocket as well. So I'm not going to glue the top because you could of course glue that or put a piece of lace or ribbon or something in between there as a pull thing. But if you know me, I love pockets. Pockets, pockets, pockets are in everything. Everything's a pocket. So I am going to just go down this side. And before I do that, I'm going to put ink on the inside in case you see when you put something in. And also it helps if I've gone off on my cutting. You see the purple instead of the white. And then I'm just going up the two sides, the short side and the long side. It's gotten a little chilly here where I am in Ohio, and I hope that that's the sign that fall is just really right around the corner, because it really actually is. I've been waiting all year for fall, and some of my friends have said that their trees have already turned and they're naked already. The trees, not my friends. Well, maybe my friends. I don't know. But my weather tree has not turned yet. I saw a tiny bit of yellow in it earlier today or yesterday. So I was really happy about that. I got a little too much showing here. So how is everyone else doing? Sorry, I just had to like really concentrate there. Anywhoozle. Anyway, how are you guys doing? What's up in your neck of the woods? If you're in the woods, if you're in the city, let me know. See, I can't even see where the pocket is. I may have just messed myself up there, but that is just too cool to ink on there for that, I think. I like that so much. Okay, and then we're going to put this one in here. Okay, and there's some decoration things. I think I want to make, see, now I'm doing this again on the fly. I don't know what you want to call it, without planning. That's it. I'm doing this without planning. So, ooh, do I want that, or ooh, on this side, look at that. That's cool. I should have thought of that before I glued these down, because I really don't want to ruin the aesthetic. So, what to do? I'm going to put a book page on the back of this, just because. Ooh. Or do I want it to go this way? No, up top, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna put a book page on the back of this real quick.